Hello, dear friends. You must believe in happiness or it will never come. Be like a bird that sings anyway, when all it finds are crumbs, wrote Douglas Malloch. Being a bird is not the same as being a bird with a score to settle with justice. Opinion piece. Discouragement. Year of disclosure. What's taking so long? The world is in turmoil. It's a combustion of the old. Incredible things are happening. White rabbit operations. We can get ahead of the game. The big change is in everyone. There is no reason to despair. Just have the faith of a mustard seed. The winged sun discs have returned. Everything you are seeing, it was written. It's not easy task to end the darkness. Could a coup be happening in Brazil? Let's start. Discouragement means despondency. Despondency means faintness of spirit. Courage means energy, effort, intention, and will. The presence of mind is the serenity or tranquility that preserves the spirit, both in adverse and prosperous events. Truly I tell you, if your faith were as a mustard seed, you would tell that mountain to come here, and it would come. Nothing would be impossible for you, Jesus said. Faith is the certainty that what is hoped for will happen, and the conviction of what is not seen. You may feel discouragement at times, but don't get stuck on it. No one denies that there is discouragement and lack of faith among those who wait for the promises of heaven to be fulfilled. But most forget that this movement goes in two directions, from the bottom to the top and from the top to the bottom, until it reaches a point of confluence. It is not a matter of waiting with arms folded, but that every living being must do the work for inner transformation before the outer changes appear. Those changes begin with you being the most complete version of yourself and sharing that aspect of yourself with a world that needs more solidarity, more creativity, and more energy from source. Individual process. The big change is in each of us, and from there it's all about growth. We will find ourselves awakening to our new today by allowing the truth to manifest. Perfection lies within our perception of the moment. All will unfold in its proper time. It is our own personal journey of self-discovery. As our new today arrives, each spirit will blossom at its own pace, and as those around us fade, as the petals bloom and fall, an endless field of flowers appears. It is not an easy task to end the darkness. Why does it take so long? According to Limerick, unknown tunnel systems have been discovered. All have to be mapped and cleared. The white hats are using their quantum computer to determine their daily course of action and when to finally go. The swamp is much bigger and deeper than expected. The next cryptocurrency corruption scandal would hit with the collapse of a major bank and hundreds of smaller banks. I hope this sheds some light on a frustrating situation. When listening to the truthers, how do you know if what they say is true for you personally? Are they giving military deceptions, or is it real? When you can perceive the guidance of your spiritual essence, you can ask yourself if it is true, and how you feel in your heart. Once you reach the top of the sacred mountain, you can see all the other paths, says Poet Dog. These are times of great change and upheaval. This is a time of apocalypse. You may be in blessed company and seem to be alone in the eyes of the world. Real magic doesn't happen or appear before the unbelieving hearts and eyes of jaded and cynical adults. All is not lost, and there is no reason for despair. Those oriented to comfort and convenience may find cause for consternation. It is all part of the process. Down goes the old and degenerate, and up comes new life. It has all become a bridge too far. It has become unsustainable. Things fall apart and the center cannot hold. Reflections. Are we giving up our biometric privacy in exchange for supposed security? Use the freedom you still have. Use it right now to become the living being you were meant to be. Follow your heart and find your place, whatever it is. The divine resonance. Now, more than ever, we can attest to the divinity within ourselves. The spirituality of humankind lies in our ability to control the profile of our genetic code through practices that can restore us to a current state of divine resonance. Reset News. The World Bank forecasts an implosion of the economy, warns of the possibility of global recession if there are more adverse events. The Swiss Central Bank has just posted its biggest loss in 116 years of history. And given the way things look to go by 2023, it looks like central banks around the world will be making a loss. Year of Revelation. Several countries are expected to have internal conflicts this year. Several countries will approach near-crisis civilizational events. These events will trigger the exposure of everything. White Rabbit operations launch into their final 40th month phase until 2024. When Elon Musk mentioned follow the White Rabbit, it means he got the green light for the last year and a half of operations. A 120-day transition is expected after the global announcement. It was written all over what you are seeing, and it would be a plan to save the world. Dalbom believes there will be a lot of volunteers jumping on the bandwagon to get this thing moving, as it is a humanitarian project. Precious metals. Gold standard imminent. The current international monetary system is coming to an end, and conventional monetary policy has reached a dead end and cannot be reversed. Research reveals that European central banks have prepared a new international gold standard. Since the 70s, policies have been gradually implemented that paved the way for an equitable and durable monetary system. Why is China accumulating gold again, according to Tyler Dutton? A month ago, the identity of the mystery gold buyer who had been holding the precious metal in recent months was confirmed. Specifically, China was identified as the hidden whale buying the metal, when everyone is denouncing its use to hide inflation. New petro-gold yuan system. Gold will be central to China's plan to create an international oil renminbi market, as it seeks to strengthen the yuan's credibility and continues to push ahead with plans to buy oil from Saudi Arabia. Zimbabwe to join BRICS. Zimbabwe is preparing to bid to join the BRICS. Zimbabwe has made overtures to join the emerging economies that make up the BRICS bloc as part of its engagement drive, which is designed to increase the country's influence globally. Americas. Brazilian army soldiers close off access to headquarters and stop arrests of protesters by federal district police officers. Early reports suggest a coup may be underway in Brazil, as the military protect protesters from police and at the barricade and take up positions in the capital, Brasilia. Tanks are shown protecting protesters. Mike Adam believes that Brazil's uprising would be just the first of many that we will witness in 2023. Most likely, on the 23rd or 24th, we will see the final designed collapse of fiat currencies. The launch of the central bank digital currency would not go well because it would be met with intense resistance. Anyone participating in a digital currency would lose control of their finances, as government can shut down their digital wallet at any time, which is exactly what Brazil has done to protesters' bank accounts. All electronic voting systems are controlled by the same financiers. Petro orders by decree the resumption of operations against the ELN after a failed ceasefire. Wall Street alert over the possible bankruptcy of Bed Bath & Beyond. House Republicans will vote on a bill that would abolish the income tax. In quotes, "They hate me because I'm fat," Biden said, looking at his latest approval ratings. Europe. Constantine II, the last king of Greece and godfather of the Prince William of Wales, dies. He reigned from 1964 to 1973. After the coup d'etat in his country, he lived in the UK. The Vatican reopens the investigation into a girl who disappeared in 1983, named Emanuela Orlandi. Ireland becomes one of the first countries on the territory of the European Asian continent to put on the parliamentary agenda a set of laws regulating the continued promotion of cryptocurrencies. The sky turns bright red in the middle of the night in Bavaria, Germany. Now people are trying to debunk the origin of this strange phenomenon. Theory of change. In 2023, they are pushing for a whole of society approach that would affect us all. This is all part of their theory of change, which aims directly at destroying life as we know it, all for the greater good supposedly. Change is unavoidable. No one denies this reality, though many people ignore the implications. A theory of change is a methodology for representing graphically, with a causal logic, the objectives an intervention seeks to achieve and the concrete manner in which it intends to achieve them. It is used as a planning tool, but it is also useful for designing and evaluating socially focused interventions. We know that globalists use strategic partnerships to achieve their objectives. For example, the banning of gas cookers. They have channeled millions to the Clean Cooking Alliance. They have their theory of change, but I have mine. When we choose to use change, we can get ahead of the game. Change starts in the heart, which means a friendly conversation may be the best place to start. Revelations. More veils are being removed according to Judith Castle. Incredible things are happening. Starfleet has set in motion a huge shower of sacred geometric light patterns, and these are replacing the old Earth's light grid, bending away the old. As this is happening, many dark souls are being pushed aside. As more veils are removed, these huge light codes are being activated in our crown and third eye chakras. We are in the midst of such unprecedented upgrades affecting all life forms. It is a beginning out of the old. The winged sun's disks have returned and are pouring into the pyramid grids. We are in intense upgrades and ascension. We receive help through all of this, as divine energy pours directly into our heart center, merging with the light that pours into our crown and third eye. This will intensify. All is in a state of clearing as rebirth is now occurring at all levels. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.